Hello.
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 Hello, everybody.
So we're talking about insurance today. Lindsay's in the car. I'm
Yes,
about to be in the
running
car. It's
crazy.
rainy. It's shitty out. But we're
Terrible
talking about
day.
insurance, and we kind of picked this because it's been like a hot button ever since that last round of hurricanes this last fall. We've seen a lot of people become uninsured. We've seen houses where they're like, we're not going to insure it because the roof is old. We're not going to insure it because of this. So that's happening. And I think we forget about it because we are so far displaced from the actual cause of the increase of insurance. But it
Good point.
happens here in Wisconsin. We don't have these big natural disasters or wildfires, but our insurance companies are nationwide, so they
Yeah.
feel it in all these places that are.
Yeah.
So I think if you haven't, you'd be looking at your insurance every year. So that's going to be my tip one. I am bad at it, but you should always be checking. Did it go up? We get these letters in the mail, changes to your policy, and you're like, well, I'm covered still, so I don't care. And
Right.
you don't really notice. And I pay 6 months to do a little save. So tip two, pay your 6 months because you can on your auto insurance,
Oh,
use
yeah.
you save. Um if you're paying it, but I don't see what I'm paying. I don't think about it. You're not thinking about it monthly. So at least once a year, really look at it and shop around. So,
Hmm.
reach out to another insurance company and tell them I have here's my policy, current policy. I want to be similar to this.
Yeah.
What could you do? And it might change and it doesn't cost you anything to do that. So I would
And be
shop that
mindful.
insurance.
Be mindful if you've had claims in the past,
Yeah.
because technically, if you've filed claims in the past, I think it used to be every 3 years that would kind of drop off and you could then be eligible for lower premiums. But I think it's been increased now to 4 or 5 years. So
Yeah.
just be
Of course
mindful
it
of
is.
that. And I'm
Yes.
going to touch on that later about being mindful of filing claims.
Yes. So that, and then if you're not, like I talked about auto, bundle your insurance. The more things you have insured with one company, there's typically a discount for every single thing. So I have a rental property. I have a second home. I have my current residence. I added an umbrella policy. Ask your
Thank
agent
you.
if you don't know what that is. Um, to all of that, I have, all of our auto is through there. We have UTVs. So everything is in one spot.
Yeah.
Um, and you definitely are going to see a savings the more things you have with one carrier.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so definitely bundle.
if you're a new home buyer, because we're speaking of current homeowners, new home buyers, I'm telling everybody I'm working with, start calling your agent and getting quotes while you're in the shopping process, because it's becoming just as important as interest rates right now. The higher premiums are affecting your monthly budget, the total payment.
Yeah.
So if there's several homes that you like, just call an agent
Yeah.
and obtain quotes on those homes to get an average of what you think you're going to pay. Um,
Correct. And then it gives
also,
you that number when you're using these mortgage calculators online to put in, because,
yeah,
9 out of 10 of our, especially first time buyers, are going to be escrowing your insurance, and your taxes are going to be all wrapped into one payment. So you don't even
yeah.
need to think about it. Um,
And these
so
online calculators, when you see the home online and it tells you below what the total payment might be, right? It's
Yeah.
always low. And that
yeah,
payment is usually with a 20% down payment, but the insurance I've noticed is being quoted very low.
very low. Yeah. Like $50 a month low.
Yeah, not realistic at all. And let's just
No.
say this is what we're seeing in the field. We have our home buyers that find their dream home, right? And then they wait until the last minute to get this homeowner's insurance quote. And they're like, oh my God, it's
Right.
so high because the roof is 15 years old. Don't
Right.
let this scenario be your dead stop of, we can't buy this home, because you can.
Exactly.
Right? There's
Yeah.
solutions. If you're putting a 20% down payment, back off of your down payment and maybe put 15 or 10% down, which frees up money for you to be able to replace that roof. You're
Right.
going to close with the higher premium, but after closing, you do the roof, and then your premiums will come down as well.
Right. And that was on my list too. So you can
Oh,
do different home upgrades. So
Mhm.
maybe
yeah.
you're not happy with the rate you have now, but you're like, well, people forget you like, if I redo my roof, I mean, who am I calling? But you should definitely be calling any home improvements you make to your
Yeah.
home. Even if you think they're insignificant, you should be calling your insurance agent to say, I just put on a new roof. I, um, you know, installed, I mean, we don't have that here a lot, but indoor sprinkler systems. Maybe
Hmm.
that's something you chose to install.
Right.
Um, or,
Um,
different windows,
yes.
energy
Energy
efficient
efficient.
items, home
Yeah.
security systems, and those are becoming more and more affordable. Cameras, every camera. Hey, I just got like a Amazon, an Alexa camera.
Yeah.
And, does that change? I have a Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
Does that change? All those little things you should, even if you think they're insignificant, definitely bring them up. Landscaping, getting rid of trees. We see this in home inspections. This tree's dead. This one's leaning over the roof. Getting
Mhm.
rid of those, who would have
Mhm.
thought, could possibly lower your homeowner's insurance. So
Right.
anything that can protect their investment and lessen the risk of having something go wrong is a good idea. Um,
And
so
then
yeah, I
a
think,
renovation loan. You could consider, even if you're a current homeowner, doing a renovation loan, which would be a renovation refinance, but it's going to give you the funds to do all of this at once if you want. Do your roof,
Yeah.
do new windows. And now it
yes,
becomes part of your newer payment and,
correct.
makes it a lot more
Yeah.
affordable.
And a lot of times, maybe you bought a house and it has a pool and you're not really using it anymore. Get rid of it. That's
Yeah.
Mhm.
increasing your homeowner's insurance. You got a swing set, a trampoline, anything you've told them that you have on property that you're no longer using, you should definitely let them know. Hey, we had that huge jungle gym. We took that down. Well, our
Yeah.
kids are grown. We don't use it. Or it's becoming big to convert fireplaces. So you had a wood burning fireplace and now you just have a little electric gas fireplace. That would be a savings to not have that actual flame of burning wood inside your home. So when I show houses and there happens to be a fire hydrant outside, I always say, there's a there's a homeowner's insurance deduction for you. The closer you
We
are
have one.
to
Yeah.
the closer you are to a fire hydrant, the closer you are to the fire department. They look at there's so many things that they consider when they're quoting you insurance. So
Yeah.
nothing is too
Right.
insignificant to be like, hey, would
True.
this
Truly.
lessen my insurance? So definitely
True.
ask about that and ask them for savings, because sometimes, like, our home internet, everything that we're using a third party to source us to function on the day to day, typically there's some sort of discount. There's
Yeah.
something. And if
Yeah.
you're not asking, you're not going to get it. I know sometimes loan officers will do, your appraisal. We're going to cover your appraisal. Well, they're not going to cover everybody's appraisal. But if you say like, hey, who pays for they might say, oh, they're allotted to give out X amount a month. So same with insurance. Ask, what's the discount? Can you do any better? What if I got a small life insurance policy from you? How does that
Yeah.
affect things? So the more you have, again, will change. Um, what else did I have? Oh, a lot of people don't want to, and this depends again on your financial situation, but your deductible is directly related to how much your premiums are. So, if you can't afford these monthly payments, consider raising that deductible. So I think mine's $5,000.
Mhm.
I could I raise that to 10? But if
Right.
you're going to do that, you want to make sure you protect yourself. So make sure you have this emergency savings fund where you have that money in it to pay that deduct, but that will really bring that payment down.
Yeah.
So that's something that, it's not for everybody, because you can't afford a $10,000 project if it comes up, but maybe you take out a home equity line of credit and you just have it
Right.
sitting there.
And that
So
was
it's
part of
there.
one of my notes as well. We're always all on the same page here.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
be kind, just be kind to your insurance policy, right? Like, treat it like it is a last case resort. Like, I think people need to become better homeowners and really start staying on top of their seasonal maintenance. We had a video about that also, look for it. But stay on top of your seasonal maintenance because it's going to make your home last longer and lower your risk of having to use your
Yes.
homeowner's insurance, because the more claims you have, the more your policy premiums are going to go up. And
Right.
that was the other thing. Start a separate savings account. Even if you're putting $50 in it a month, by the time you actually need something for an insurance claim worthy moment, you've got
Mhm.
money in an account that you might not have, right? Use that and
Right.
don't file the claim.
Yes. Be careful
yeah.
what you're filing, and ask your agent what, our policies are based on actual costs and replacement costs. So that affects your
Yes.
premium too, what type of policy you have. So make sure you're getting quotes for either or. And then group insurance too. This is one I didn't think of, but obviously where you work has to have insurance. They have to insure the building. They have to insure the parking lot where people are parking. So
Yeah.
find out who your employer, or you're part of some group, maybe it's a church organization or some group you're part of. Find out who's insuring them.
Good
And
point.
because sometimes if enough of you want to switch to that insurance company, you're going to get a group rate and there's going to be a big savings to be had. So, where it's not, the employer is not covering it, but because
Right.
that insurance company is getting all the employees to insure with them, there's a savings that's then spread out for everybody. So that's always
Right.
something self-employed, I don't think about, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
something to think about. If you're,
For sure.
especially, maybe not a big corporation, but a smaller one, you work at a hair salon or something that's like, a little smaller, a little boutique store, that
Yeah.
owner has some sort of insurance.
So true.
So ask who they're using and see, hey, if I got my employees to, could you come talk to us? And maybe we can, work out a group rate if they're all going to switch their policies to you. So
Yeah.
just
On that
a little.
replacement cost coverage, that was a good point. If you have a mortgage, it has to be replacement cost coverage. But if you pay cash for a home, yeah, check the actual cash value
Yeah.
premiums for sure. So
Yeah. And not that you ever want to be underinsured, but as you pay things off
yeah,
too, like
Right.
when you
Yeah.
pay off your toys, when you pay off your cars, those sorts of things, call and talk to your agent. Like, I still want to be insured enough, but do I need this huge policy because I no longer carry the loan
you're right.
where, the debtor.
My dad is in that situation. So it's funny you brought that up, and it is smart, in his situation, I can see that side of it for sure. And
Yeah.
you brought it up earlier, but touch on an umbrella with your agent, because the cost of it's $1 million coverage, and it's like, I don't know, $350 a year.
Yeah, I don't even think I think I have a $2 million umbrella, and I think mine's like $275 a year,
Well,
something
there
like
you
that.
go. So find
Yeah.
out where and
And I
when
do
that would.
pay, I pay extra for it to cover our second home that we Airbnb. So I do pay a little extra to have it cover other
Yes.
things of mine, but
Yeah.
that's,
In the world
it's
we live
valuable.
in, it's smart to have one for
Yes.
sure. I think that's all
I
she
think that's
wrote.
good.
Yeah, very good.
What's next week? Next week is review week already.
Yes, it is.
That's
It went by
crazy.
like
This
that.
year is going by so fast. Well, I love seeing you ladies as always. And if you have any questions, obviously we do not sell insurance. So we will put you in front of somebody that definitely can get the answers. But these are just good questions to ask them when you're talking. And we are planning on doing our first time buyer seminar. And again, if you're not a first time buyer, you just want a refresher, maybe you haven't bought a home in a long time, this is going to be for you.
If you're
We'll
thinking about
answer.
selling, yeah.
Yes, we'll answer questions. So this one is going to be geared towards buyers, and we're going to have it on Saturday the 19th. Is that right?
That's right. April.
Yep.
April. So watch
noon.
for that. We'll definitely slap some QR codes to get registered for that around on our social media. Share this, please, with somebody you think might need this information. Ask us questions, because going into this buyer Zoom seminar, we want to make sure we're answering everybody's questions. So if you have a question that you're like, I'm not going to ask it on a live thing, message it to us and we'll make sure it gets answered during our Zoom. So
Yeah. And you
Yay.
don't have to show
Yay.
your face. You can chat
Yeah.
in the chat. It's
Yes,
very
you don't have to
lovely.
be on camera. All right. Well, I'm going to jump off to go to a showing, and I hope everybody has a good rest of the day.
You too. Have a
Bye-bye.
good one.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.